All right, everyone. Thank you for watching another Digital 262 production. You are watching Elite Talk. What's going on, everyone? This is Pilo from Digital 262. We're here at the studio with my man G.
What's going on, King? How you feeling?
What's going on, man?
Man, another day in the neighborhood. How you feeling today, bro?
Man, I'm feeling good, man. You know, I always start when I always introduce you guys. I always talk about your wardrobe, man. That wardrobe is hot.
I appreciate it, man. Hey, I actually saved this to the end.
You saved that for the end?
Yeah, I did, because it's like I know that like we coming to the end of the season.
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm gonna just bust this out.
Man, I've always been a color graffiti kind of expression kind of guy when it comes to clothes, man.
Yeah.
That's like New York feel, man. That's like New Jack City.
Well, you know,
Nino Brown, you know.
That's my like 10th home. I've never been there. I've never been there.
Man,
I've never been there.
I like that.
Appreciate it, King.
And in this corner, we got my man TJ.
Hello, my beautiful people. How's everybody doing today?
Yeah, man. There's something different about you today.
What's that?
I don't know. It's like you're missing a piece. You're missing something.
I don't know. I'll let the viewers figure that out.
Yeah. I can't figure it out, man. But there's something very different about you today. But it's all good, man. Looking clean, brother.
Oh, I appreciate it. Thank you,
man. And I am so excited today, man. Today we have a special guest. This person is an amazing person. I mean, I'm gonna give her the floor, but an amazing person, all the way from Virginia Beach. All right,
Queen.
Oh my God,
Queen.
Visiting us from Zoom. You know, connecting with us via Zoom. The host, the myth, the legend,
the queen,
Miss Kami. What's going on, Miss Kami Grayson?
Yeah, don't look behind.
Who is he talking about?
You queen.
Me?
Yes,
oh,
ma'am.
yeah.
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, wow.
How you doing, queen?
What an amazing introduction. Wow.
Oh, yeah.
Okay. I'll take it.
Yeah, go take that, queen. Hey, own your stuff, girl. Own your stuff. Sitting there with your, what's that, white you got on?
Thank you, guys. I appreciate you having me on your show. This is amazing. I love to see positive men doing positive things in the community, and you guys got it. You got it. I love it. When I saw your first show, my first time seeing it, it was like a great ambiance. You guys are all connected, and I really like that. So I'm honored to be here. So thank you for having me.
It's a real honor to have you on our podcast. You know, I've looked at, and by the way, everyone, she's going to talk about her podcast, and I'll put a link on the bottom of this video. So you guys check out her podcast. It's an amazing podcast. I mean, it's very well done, very articulate. I mean, it's one of the best podcasts I've ever seen. But Kami, tell us more about you. Tell the audience more about you, what you're working on.
Okay, so Kami has a professional life, and Kami has her Kami life. So in my professional life, like you mentioned, your family in Norfolk. Well, I manage the entire mall, the Military Circle Mall that's here in Norfolk, and they are getting ready to tear the mall down. So normally I come into a state and I fill it up with local businesses, and majority gravitate, to our ethnicity. So basically you give our people the opportunity to have a business in a mall where you don't see that very often. So that's what I do from state to state, and then get the mall filled up where the bank or whoever can sell it. And in this case, the city of Norfolk owns the mall now. So now, normally I'm gone, but they invited me to stay to kind of close it out since I brought all the tenants in. So now I'm closing down Military Circle Mall. And this is the mall where you see where Trey Songz used to come. Missy Elliott just got a street named after her in Portsmouth. I mean, they're all like 7 cities here. And it is amazing the connection that the people have here in Virginia. I'm originally from Dallas, Texas. And so, of course, the Dallas Cowgirl is in the house with the Indians. But,
That's tough right there.
Oh, yeah.
But I made my way in, As long as I don't bring out my Dallas Cowboys stuff, I'm okay,
It's unfortunate how we see that trend now. We see it here in Wisconsin where the malls are shutting down and, everything's moving online. Yeah. Is that the same problem you guys are having over there, with actually shopping?
That's it. The end of the day, you got the Amazons, you got small businesses doing what they do, so people are just gravitating away from the mall setting, and COVID really killed the mall setting.
Yeah,
it's really bad.
Absolutely.
It destroyed a lot of businesses. So, anyway,
mm-hmm.
that's my professional hat. And so after work, I am the owner of SKST Radio Podcast Studio.
Mm-hmm.
And we just moved into a beautiful studio.
I love it. It looks beautiful.
It's beautiful. I wish I could give y'all the tour.
Yeah.
But we have three different sets. And this studio was designed for people to come in. Just to give you a good example, like you guys are on Pure Space.
Mm-hmm.
So when you come in, just say you wanted to do some stuff out here, like with Pharrell's actually getting ready to redevelop my mall. So Pharrell,
yeah.
So it's gonna be cool. They're gonna make it really cool out here.
Are you talking about Pharrell Williams?
You had guests to interview here. You'll be able to use our studio, brand it to Elite, and make it your studio. And so you're able to move things around. It's not. Nothing's in concrete.
Yeah.
So of course, the background, whatever your background is, that could be your setting.
Yeah.
So this is my particular background that I love for my main show.
Mm-hmm.
But we also have a radio station in the next room.
Okay. Yeah.
Okay.
Studio A is set up just like the radio station.
Yeah, that's cool.
And then Studio B is set up where we can do men talk. You guys can either grab the sofa, or we got some Louis Vuitton bar stools.
Yeah.
Y'all can sit on those, with the green screen. It's set up. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Okay.
And so, in fact, our engineer, the thing that you do, he's working via, I guess, what do you call it, satellite type thing?
Sure.
Where he's in San Antonio, Texas.
Okay.
And he runs all of my productions right here.
Okay.
So all I have to do is just set it up and boom, you got
That's it. Yeah.
We need to take a trip.
I know we need to go to North.
Come on down. Y'all more than welcome to come join us.
Oh, we're taking a trip.
Appreciate it.
I think we are. I think we're going to have to make a trip there.
Yeah. If y'all make it down, I'm treating you for dinner and all that good stuff, that's just kind of how it is. Hospitality. That's Texas hospitality, by the way.
I just like McDonald's. That's all. Just give me, a number one. I'm good.
Yeah, here in Wisconsin, we're not very bougie. Little McDonald's, little burger will be good. But I again, Kami, thank you for coming on to the podcast. We really, really appreciate it, and thank you for everything that you're doing. And more importantly, thank you for coming on to this podcast. And if anybody out there has an opinion of anything we're going to talk about today, please remember to write it down on the comment section of this video. You can talk about anything. If you have a concern, if you have a comment, or if you have a question, write it down on the bottom section of this video. But Kami, so let us know, what are we going to be talking about today?
I think we're going to be talking about prenuptials.
Prenuptials, the devil's contract. So Kami, I know the last time we spoke, you actually wanted to come up with the subject, but to tell us, why is it? Because I know you wrote some literature about prenup. Am I correct?
Well, actually, it wasn't that I've written about it. It's the fact that I've written the book. So. Like I was telling him, my thing is, if I wrote a book and my book is up there making a lot of money before our relationship, before we get married, before anything happens, I'm already successful in my trade, right?
Yeah.
So I marry you, you're successful in your trade. So how would I look coming to marry you for everything that you have?
Right.
Why do I feel like I'm entitled to what you have? So same thing here. I can marry someone and studio blow up, book blow up, all this, and you marry me, and we break up for whatever reason, Lord forbid. But then you think you can have half of everything that I worked hard for?
Yeah.
Negative.
Yeah.
No.
I want half of everything.
No. They don't get that good.
No.
You don't get that good.
Yeah.
Both ways. From a woman or a man aspect, it is not fair. To me, it's not fair.
Right.
So I might be wrong, guys. Do y'all marry for what the other person has?
Well, you know what? Let me ask the guys here. G, I want you to start this question. The question is, prenup, would you sign it or not?
No.
Why not?
I wouldn't sign it because I'm not coming into, half of what you got. And if we manage to, end, then you do you and I'm gonna do me. I don't have to come after your stuff because regardless of the fact, if we get married, we finna be extra successful anyway. So then, we just splitting everything. Whatever you did before me, that's you did before me. And even if we did it together, then hey, we just got to come up with a regiment so we can split that down the middle and leave it as that. Whatever I got, I got. Right. Even if you make more, because I don't want to take from you. For what reason? And I'm not loving you for what you have. I'm loving you for who you are and the person you are. Yeah. And if it just ends, then it just ends. You go your way, I'm going to go my separate way.
But G, what if it's the other way around? What if you're the one that has all the money, right? And you decide to get married to this female and, would you make her sign a prenup? Would you make her sign one?
No.
Okay.
I wouldn't. Yeah. Because and I could take it and I know a relationship is not like a marriage, but I could use that frame. I left somebody and I left them almost everything. Left them a house, everything. Yeah. And I had to almost start brand new because money is materialistic. A house, everything else is materialistic to me. So I feel if you need it more than I do, then go ahead and take it.
Yeah, yeah. So Kami, let me go back to you and ask you something. So when you enter a relationship and you decide that you want to marry this man, does a prenup cheapens the marriage contract, in your opinion?
It just depends. It just, to me, like he said, if that's something you want to give freely. But if you feel that the person is like a hot dog, you feel like this is, you love this person, but people change. Oh, yeah. So to me, I feel like you're covering yourself with a prenup. I don't feel like if you don't sign the prenup, people get into relationships, break up behind this. Yeah. And the reason why is because, well, one, like just say he and I was in a relationship. Now he's saying, it's all good, he don't want what I have and da. But money changed people.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
And then you get an attorney, and your attorney starts getting in your ear. Oh man, yeah, we can take her for everything. We can clean her out. It just things change when people are angry, and you have all those negative impact things going on. I mean, like he did. I left my marriage and I walked away from everything. Yeah, yeah. At the end of the day, it's easier, it's less headache, but I didn't have much. Right. He didn't have much, but Lord forbid a relationship breaks up and you started, you came into the relationship with more, or even Stephen, right. He and I on equal terms, like he said before. Now, how fair is it? We both came into the relationship with equal terms. And I still take half of what he has. That's not right.
I see your point, Kami. But you know what? Let me ask TJ. TJ, what do you think about this?
So I really feel like it depends on the circumstances. So say you're in a situation where you're grinding, you're not at your peak yet, and you're out here, you're making moves, but you didn't attain that financial level yet. And a woman's riding with you. She's investing in your potential, in your future. And she was there for you before you got anything. Yeah. And then all of a sudden, within 2 or 3 years of being together, you attain a level of success, and you both reap the benefit of it. Yeah. And then you decide, well, let's tie the knot. And then the prenup comes into play. And in a circumstance like that, I don't necessarily feel like you shouldn't do that, because that woman has proven, that woman has proven her loyalty to you. She was with you before you had anything. She's seen the potential in you. She groomed you. She helped you attain a certain level of success that you're at now. Yeah. So I don't feel like you should make a woman in that predicament sign a prenup, because she's already proven her loyalty. She's proven that I was with you before you had anything, and now I helped you get to this level. Now, I mean, whatever. Hypothetically, if we do break up, no one gets married anticipating getting a divorce. Right. But things happen. People change. People develop and they grow, and sometimes people grow apart. But if that woman was there since day one, I don't believe in making her sign a prenup. However, say I'm single and I reach a high level of success, and I've been single for 4 to 5 years. Yeah, and I'm a multi-millionaire, I'm a high value man. Women are going to want me, right, because they see what I have, pulling up. I'm taking women on dates. I'm pulling up in a Lambo, and they see my house and they see my assets. in a situation like that, I definitely would get a prenup because that woman wasn't with me during the period of time when I was trying to attain that success. She wasn't with me shooting in the gym. You know what I mean?
Yeah, right.
Like I was by myself and I attained that level, financial status by myself.
Yeah.
So at that point, I do feel like it's necessary for you to protect yourself and protect your assets.
Yeah.
It doesn't take anything away from that woman, but at the same time, or that man.
Yeah.
But at the same time, you weren't there. I built myself. I built my life. And hypothetically, if it doesn't work out, then I should be good. I should be straight. I should walk away with everything that I worked for.
Right.
You know what I mean? So I feel like it really depends on the circumstances. But I mean, I more so agree, you know, with the queen here, you know, like I'll work for that. You know what I mean? Like, and I'll be damned if, because like I said, people could cheat on you. People could change up. And I got to split everything I work for to this person? Nah, that's not happening.
Yeah, you do.
So
nah.
So can I?
It ain't that sweet.
Can I throw this in there though?
Yeah, go ahead.
I just feel like if it managed to be where they, like you already successful, like he said, and they with you because they see what you got, then what's the whole point now? Like, to be honest, because I'm gonna come in thinking like you just want me for my money. Yeah. So yeah, of course, then I'm gonna have to kind of steer away from this relationship in the beginning, because then even if you feel like you're getting with me because of that, then I get it when you say, okay, now we got to sign. Right. I get that then. But then that's where you got to self-evaluate before you go into that relationship and say, hold up. Are you with me for this? Because now if I was broke, would you still be with me?
Because if you're at that high level, you can't really dictate people's motives or intentions.
And that's true. And that's why you kind of, sometimes you got to really, 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 you know, skate on thin ice when it comes down to it. Because then you don't know what their motive is coming in the door. Right. You know what I'm saying? And if you there at that high, they're going to be like, oh, he got money. Like I said, I see videos, you know, shout out to London Way, because I see that all the time when he go down to Dallas, Texas, and he do, you know, gold diggers, and he say, hey, how you doing? Until he go to his vehicle. He's in a Lamborghini truck or a Porsche truck, and then next thing you know, oh, hey. Right. Yeah. So first thing they see is what? The money. Then if they try to be genuine at that time and say, oh, I really want to be with you. No, you really wanted to be with my money. Well, of course. You want to date my money. You want to make love to my money. No. Yeah, then come on, bring that piece of paper over here, shorty. Yeah, man. Well, Kami, what do you think about that?
No, I mean, I totally agree. Both of the guys are dead on. I mean, because that's my whole point. You know, if I worked hard for what I have, and I've met someone that I really like, and it's going to work out, and I'm thinking, okay, well, you know what? If you got a business, I'm going to support you, because I still want to support myself. So, but I don't want you to be feeling that you're getting what I already have. Let's start over from scratch. You know, let's start off from scratch. Yeah. And at that point, let's build from there. Let's build together as a couple from there. Yeah. You know, and then maybe things might change, and at the end of the day, I change it. You know. So
Kami, I got a question for you.
If I feel that secure with that person, tear up the prenup.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
Right. Go ahead.
So I died, you can have everything that I have because you deserve it from what we built together.
Right. So I got a question for you. So pretty much when you start your relationship and you already successful, will that be like a conversation that you have in the beginning, like, okay, this is what I got, or whatever before that? Because if it evolves into a marriage.
Yeah, well, so that's what brought the whole thing up. You know, it was kind of like that person was pretty much asking my worth, you know. Yeah. What do you think you worth, you know? And I'm like, what do you mean?
That's a red flag right there. Right.
Yeah, that was a big red flag. Oh yeah. And so my first response was, regardless to what I'm worth, I wouldn't be getting in a relationship without a prenup.
You know what? I'm going to put in my 2 cents, and I disagree with all of you. No,
really?
You know what?
My God!
Come on, Pilo.
In certain aspects, I do agree. I do agree that a prenup is necessary, but you know what? Not to the extent you guys are saying. I'm from the old school of thinking, old school of thought, man. I believe that if prenup should never, ever, ever be introduced into a marriage, and let me tell you why. I believe that a prenuptial agreement cheapens the value of a marriage contract.
How so?
Now, a marriage contract, to me, in my opinion, it's not only a commitment by law, but it's a commitment in God's eyes. So if I'm going to enter, if I accept, or, you know, if I decide to enter into a marriage contract with this female, I am going to take the vows and I'm going to do everything possible to make this relationship work, to make this marriage work through thick, through thin, to death do us apart. That's my way of thinking.
Yeah.
But the problem is that if I introduce a prenup agreement, okay, I'm already, how can I say this? I'm already seeing the future. I'm already saying that, you know, this marriage is not forefront. What makes more sense is that if I walk away from this, that I keep my money. My money means more to me than this marriage.
Yeah.
That's what that means to me. Now, you know what the other problem is? That if I decide to walk away from this marriage, there's no penalty, which makes it more likely that I will walk away from this marriage. You know how many guys have been in marriages for 10, 15 years?
Yeah.
And every man's fantasy, every man's fantasy that's been married that long is to be able to make their wives just disappear legally. And can you imagine me being married 15 years? This woman is nagging me, and I just want out of this relationship, and I could just snap my fingers, she disappears, and I keep my money.
Yeah,
you know, I can just walk away scot-free easily, no problems. And that's the problem. I think with a prenup agreement makes it too easy for men to just walk away from the marriages.
You think it creates it adds an anticipation, like at some point we're going to get a divorce.
Absolutely.
It's not a matter of if, it's a matter of when.
It's a matter of when.
So then that means you had that the whole marriage, you had that in the back of your head. Okay, now we got this prenup. So I guess my question would be, do you feel that's a come up for her if you sign a prenup?
No, it's not a come up for her, because I'm not good. If I decide to enter a marriage, okay, not a relationship, a marriage, that's a big deal. That's a whole nother ball game.
Right.
I have to be absolutely sure that this is going to be the woman I want to spend the rest of my life with. Meaning that if things get tough in the middle of the marriage, I'm going to go to counseling. I'm going to, if I have to, kind of change my ways to make this marriage work, I'm going to make this marriage work whether I want it or not. And I understand that there's certain situations where marriage won't work, when cheating comes into play and things like that, and I understand the situations like that. But I'm going to try everything possible, before divorce even becomes an option, to make this marriage work. Now, if it doesn't work, guess what? I take the L.
You tried.
I tried.
Yeah.
So, Queen, I got a question for you then.
Okay.
Have you ever got a prenup? Have you signed one? You did say that you did.
I have not. No,
you have not?
That relationship didn't work out after that. But going to what Ellen just got through saying, okay, so let me show you how people are.
Yeah.
Okay.
Speak, Queen.
I'm an actress.
Yeah.
And if I want what you have, and I'm with you, I'm riding and dying with you, knowing that you got money, right?
Yeah.
Knowing that you are like, I'm going to be set. Okay.
Right.
So I'm going to say what I need to say. I'm going to do what I need to do. I'm going to look the way I need to look. I'm going to do whatever it's going to take to make you happy. Right?
Yeah.
So now I know I got you. Right. So whatever the state admits that, how long I have to be married to you in order to get alimony, palimony, everything I can possibly get out of you, I'm going to stay there. Oh, yeah. Right?
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Now, you get on my nerve. You're not good in bed. You are I really, you don't even like hanging out and partying the way I like to. So I changed me just to pacify you so I can get what I want out of you in the long run. Okay.
Yeah. Right.
So not signing that prenup, you just opened up your door for someone to take advantage of you, regardless. Your heart might be there. You might love this person. But this woman can be a person that really don't care. Have you ever heard the word gold digger?
Oh, absolutely.
All day long.
I ain't saying she a gold digger.
She takes my money.
Thank you. Hey, that's the case in some aspects. That's some aspects. Not saying that everyone is that way, but let me tell you something. If you came to me, you got money and everything, and you came to me and you say, Kami, I really love you. But I'm wondering, I would feel good about this relationship if I didn't have to worry in the back of my head, the back of my mind, that you're only in this relationship for money. So would it be a problem if we did a prenup? And if I told you that's not a problem at all.
Yeah.
Then at that point, that person is there for you. Even if you don't have any intentions whatsoever.
Yeah.
You mention that, because you know where you are, you know where you stand. But when a person comes to you and say, well, how much do you think you're worth? You know, you have to put something into place.
Kami, let's be real though. Let's be real. But most women would not sign a prenup. Do you agree with that?
Then you don't need them.
I agree with that.
Because again, think about it. Now, I'm going to build with whoever I'm with, regardless. And eventually that prenup is going to go away because I know that person didn't care about what I had. They cared about me. I'm not my money. I'm not the people that y'all see on the internet or anything. I'm just me, And so at the end of the day, I want someone that's going to accept me and love me for me, not for what I have, not for where I've been, not for where I've come from. That's you want that person to be there for you.
Absolutely, absolutely.
So I had a question for you. So you think that if an individual doesn't sign a prenup, knowing in the back of their mind, no matter how this goes down, I'm gonna be straight. You feel like that breeds a level of complacency within the relationship? Because they know that they're good, regardless of the effort they put into the relationship or the marriage.
Well, see, going back to what your scenario from the beginning.
Yeah.
If this person has been there for you, ride and die.
Yeah.
You know that this person. You can not even show what you have. Right. Just say you just met a lady at a club or grocery store, or wherever.
Right.
You don't have to tell that person who you are or what you have, right? And you having fun with this person, you having a good time. They don't know. You might have an extra hoopty driving around just for fun. You know what I mean? Just because you like your hoopty. I got a hoopty. I love my hoopty. I don't care what nobody say. Hoopty get me from place A to B. So at the end of the day, walking to the Lamborghini or whatever car that guy had when the girl came back, just be you, right? And if they accept you for you and not what you have, go for it. Go for it.
Absolutely.
Then shower her with all the luxury riches you have to share, even if it's just your heart that's out there. Then give it, but don't give it too quick. And don't show it, don't reveal it. Just take some time, pace it out. Be patient. At the end of the day.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Don't you think that's kind of tough nowadays, especially how relationships start to be built? Don't you feel it's kind of tough these days? Because that's what most, I'm not going to be biased and say women won't, but most women.
Say it.
Well, hey, what most women want, they, what I'm saying, is just if you don't have nothing, they don't want to be with you. Like, if you both not starting from the bottom, then, or, they don't want you. So when they look at a man, it's like, okay, you got to be at the top, and then you got to bring me there with you. And then now it's like, this controversy of who gets what with this prenup. How don't you think it's kind of crazy nowadays of how relationships is built because they want to see just one thing?
Right. But see, you guys allow that. You guys allow that.
Yeah.
Oh, you put a dagger
Why would you want a woman? Why would you want a woman that don't want you for who you are? Why would you want a woman that's so materialistic that they'll only go out with you because you own your name, your brand of clothing?
Let me tell you something. That man is called a sucker. It's called a sucker because a simp. You know what? And don't get me wrong. And I'm just gonna put it like this. I've been to a lot of strip clubs. All right.
Okay.
Ooh. Okay.
Strippers will tell you what you want to hear.
Yeah.
Right. They'll tell you they love you. They tell you they want to run away with you. They'll tell you exactly what you want to hear.
Yeah.
They'll empty your pockets. That's called a sucker. Yeah. And if you enter a relationship or in a marriage with that same mentality, you're gonna be taken advantage of, and you deserve that L. Yeah. In my opinion. So that's why I believe you have to be very, very smart before you enter a marriage.
Yeah.
And there has to be a consequence if that marriage contract is broken.
Yeah.
There has to be. It just makes it too easy for me to just walk away. Yeah. And especially, and let me ask you something, Kami. What happens if there's children involved in the relationship? What happens to them? What happens to the assets or anything that you guys, that the woman depends on to take care of the children,
Right. So that's where your alimony come in. Your alimony come in, your child support come in, so you get all that, and make sure the courts take that, don't just come, you know what? I don't want the man in my business, because when you don't put the man in your business, you're going to be like a sucker. Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
You're bringing over cash. You're bringing over this. You're bringing over that. And she can still still lie, still try to get on public assistance or whatever they can get on to try to get more out of you.
Yeah.
And then she's going to really show her colors.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah.
She's going to really show her colors. She might have broke up with you, or you might have broke up with her, regardless to whatever the situation was. At the end of the day, you know in your heart that you paid all this, what's supposed to be paid, right?
Right.
And you know that your kid is supposed to be taken care of.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah.
Check
absolutely.
up on it. And if it ain't happening, go back to your attorney and say, hey, I got my daughter for Christmas, or my son for Christmas, and he looked like this. And take pictures. You know, take pictures, note. And then, me personally, have a bedroom for your child.
Right. Right.
Have a bedroom for your child. When they visit, they got a closet full of nice clothes.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know, they have what they need with you. And eventually, you'll be able to say, hey, I want custody of my child. If that's the case, you might not want the custody, but you want to know that your child is taken care of. And if that woman's not doing what she's supposed to be doing, blowing your money, because they do. I'm not going to lie, them hoochies, they out there. So at the end of the day, you know, you think of your kid and you think of the interest of your kid. Now, I can tell you my ex-husband told my child that he never did anything for her, but because I had those folks into our business. Okay. Yeah. And so in my defense, I told the attorney, I told the judge, I don't want anything. You know what the judge told me? He said, woman, and he yelled at me, and he said, it's not for you, it's for your child.
Yeah.
I was trying to be proud and like, you know what? I don't need nothing. I don't need anything. My child will not be with my child won't be wanting because you're not there.
Right.
You know, and he cheated, you know, so at the end of the day, I was hurt.
Yeah.
And it wasn't about my child. It was about me because I was hurt. But when that judge yelled at me and said it wasn't about you, it was about your child, I understood what he said.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. Absolutely.
I understood what he said. So, yeah, child involved, make sure you do your part. Take care of your child.
Yeah.
That's all. You know, think about the single men out there that's taking care of their kids. And the woman's out there on crack or whatever, you know, not pulling her weight.
Yep.
At least you know you've done the best you could with your child.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a very good point. Very good point. You know what? To kind of summarize what I feel about this, and I have you guys an opportunity to kind of summarize what you think, but I just believe marriage has gotten so complicated throughout the years. You know, I look at how my grandfather married. You know, he's been married for over 50 years. You know, my mother was married for a very long time. You know, my great grandmother married for a long time because there was no complications. There were no, you know, many legal, you know, rigmarole to go. You know, the contracts this, money that. You know, it was a very organic marriage. The love was organic. You know, and they lasted a very long time. And you look at the statistics now of divorces. You know, they skyrocketed from the time. You know, crazy. You know, the amount of annulments that are coming up is because marriage isn't the same.
It's a bad investment these days.
It's a very bad investment.
That's how a lot of people look at it.
Yeah, and the men, and I believe this is a topic for another podcast, but I believe the breed of men now is not the same breed. You know, when we were growing up, you know, they look at things differently. They enter marriages with a whole different mindset. It's just totally different.
Yeah, society makes it so easy for you to leave. You know, millennials. You know, we're like the kings and queens of leaving situations that that we feel like isn't conducive for us. Like back in your generation, like, and even my parents' generation, like the men and the women were more resilient. You know what I mean? Like they stuck it out longer for certain situations. You know, but ultimately, I feel like it's like about natural selection. It's like you have to be able to properly vet and court somebody so you can't dictate somebody's intentions, right? But you have to do the due diligence so that you can know that they're really there for you. Is it still a risk? Yeah, love, marriage, all that is still a risk at the end of the day. But you have to do your due diligence so that you have a higher probability of it working out.
Absolutely.
Because we're talking about simps and stuff like if there's an unfair, to me, a simp is a guy, or it could be a woman who entertains an individual without, it's like an unequal exchange of value. Yeah. What I bring to a woman, she should bring that to me in return. You know what I mean? So that's how you ensure that no one's being taken advantage of. Yeah. You know what I mean? So people fail to do that. So then it's already one-sided. And then that's how people get taken advantage of. And that's how things don't work. And that's how, the odds and the likelihood of your investment, that's going to go out the window. So it just comes down to just making the right investment, taking the time, being patient, being diligent, and just really realizing like, look, I got to make a decision here. Like, and just really watching what an individual does. People will tell you who they are in the long run.
Oh,
you can see little things.
You have to listen.
You got to listen. And most importantly, you just have to watch, and then that'll determine, how you move from there. So
that's a very good point. What do you think?
I ain't gonna leave it like I kind of zoned. I was in the hole.
Where are you, G?
Man, I ain't gonna even lie. I was in so much of a deep thought of something so far-fetched. And I was just sitting here too, Nick, because I'm like, and then I just, hey, Queen, go ahead and take that, because I'm still thinking of it, because I'm still in there right there. I'm still
trying to put his chakras together.
I'm still over there.
But this really has been a very, very interesting conversation. Very interesting conversation.
Absolutely.
And I'm even though we all have different points of views on this matter, I'm glad that we came together and we talked about this, because this is something that's real right now. And I think that, like I said, divorce rates are so high right now. And, and you try to put your finger on what the issue is and what the problem is. No one really knows. But, I just if I can give a bit of advice to all my gentlemen out there, really, really do your research. Really, if you decide to enter into a marriage contract, please, do it for the right reasons. It's do it for love. It's all about love.
Yeah. And even if it fails, the key point, like you were saying, exhaust all your efforts.
Yeah.
And even if it doesn't work out, you can say like, look, I tried, sometimes we're dealt with a bad hand, and we gotta take that L sometimes. But just ensure you can't control what other people do. You have to control what you do.
Exactly.
And put everything into it. If it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. But if it does, then great. But you have to accept it either way.
You have to. This has been a great conversation, gentlemen. So let's do final thoughts. G, do you have any final thoughts for us today?
Oh yeah, hey, I think that's what I was doing. I was cooking up my final thought. I was stirring the pot. So what I put up is what I brung up: never give up on something you can't go a day without thinking about.
That's a good one. I like that.
It ain't as powerful as the last ones, I think.
No, but it hits. It hits.
You sure?
I think so.
Queen, how you feel about that one?
I like that.
Okay.
You don't want to give up.
You don't want to give up?
Keep it going.
I appreciate that.
How about you, TJ?
It will just go back. It will correlate to what we were already talking about. Just whenever you're on the dating market and you're dealing with an individual, just watch, listen, absorb everything. Be aware of your surroundings. Be aware of the person that you're dealing with. That's going to tell you a lot about your future with that person.
Yeah.
People are in situations that they didn't think they'd be in because they didn't do the proper research.
Yep.
They didn't do the due diligence. They didn't really do their homework, and they're kind of living in the clouds off lust or whatever, cloud was over their head. They were just in a room of smoke. But just always be aware, always be conscious, and that'll guide you in making the right decision.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
So, Kami, do you have any final thoughts for us?
Well, I'm just going to say, don't give it all away. Pace yourself.
Yeah.
Love you. Sometimes it hurts, but you always need to give to yourself first.
Absolutely.
Beautiful.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's absolutely true.
Yeah.
No, but Kami, before we leave, can you tell us, what are you working on now? What's going on with you over there?
Oh, right now? Well, I'm basically rebuilding SKST Radio's podcast shows.
Now, what does SKST stand for?
Special K Specialties. A play on words. Special K Specialties.
Gotcha.
And so I've been doing radio for probably the last 25 years. Started off, I worked with Tom Joyner, given my age here. Worked back in the day with Tom Joyner in Dallas, Texas. And then started doing my own Blog Talk Radio. And then I stopped for a few years, and we just started back with the podcasting thing. So building that, and I'm building the Kami Grayson show. It used to be Kami Grayson and Friends, but people have died, people have gone on about their business, and so the Friends aspect, which really lasted because they started at the beginning. Last year we started podcast last year.
Yeah.
So that whole team came back, which was amazing. We had Preston Taylor from the Dallas Cowboys. He did our sports. We were just set up just doing our radio thing.
Wow, yeah.
And then people just start kind of falling off. So I decided to go ahead and just do the Kami Grayson show. And it's always with friends. So anybody I invite is friends. So we're working with movie stars, directors, any new movie that's coming out on DVD, on Amazon. We're interviewing new movies. We're interviewing different recording artists that's out on the radio right now. So we're doing that, and we're interviewing authors. And then we're doing local businesses.
It's an amazing thing what you're doing. Like I said, I had an opportunity to look at your podcast, and I was very, very impressed of the quality of guests that you have on there, and just the overall quality of the podcast was just amazing. I give you kudos for everything that you're doing out there. It's just an amazing thing that you're doing. And I wish you the best of luck. And I really want to thank you again from the bottom of our hearts for coming onto this podcast. You have no idea the honor that we're feeling right now to have such a queen.
Queen, you my friend, Queen.
Oh,
you my friend.
Who is he talking about?
You my friend.
I'm trying to figure out who he talking about
here. We're gonna have you on a lot more. Trust me.
KG and friends. I'm glad I'm your friend, KG.
All the gratitude in the world. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. And again, ladies and gentlemen, the link to her podcast and all her information will be posted on the video underneath this video. So please check her out. I mean, it's an amazing podcast. Also, if you have any comments, any questions of anything that we've talked about today, please write it on the comment section. Go visit our website, www.digital262.com. Send us a link or send us some feedback. We always love feedback. And check us out on, where is it, G? Where are we located?
We on everywhere, all platforms, iHeart, Spotify, all of that. I don't want to keep going down the list because I know I'm going to forget some, but we everywhere. YouTube, all that. Catch us everywhere.
Everywhere. So, again, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on. Miss Kami Grayson, much appreciated. Thank you for coming on.
Blessings, Queen.
Onto this podcast. And again, ladies and gentlemen, thank you for watching another Digital 262 production. You are watching Elite Talk. To the next one.
Peace.
Thank you, guys. I appreciate it.
All right.